the reason that I love the Patriots is they've become Mike Vrabel's team overnight. Milton Williams, Carlton Davis, my guy Robert Spillane is one of my favorite players in the NFL, so I'm a little bit biased there. But you're just getting these guys in to come in and grind and set the tone and set the culture. And to me, this is a team now that, and you're in November and December, and all of a sudden you probably don't want to play them,
Yeah. I mean, I think, what you see is, you're right. Like, it's like Vrabel scheme fits. It's guys they have background with. I mean, to me, it's a lot like the Commanders. And I think the Commanders sort of set a blueprint that the Patriots followed here. If you go back and you look at the Commanders offseason last year, the guys they signed, they all had background with the Commanders coaches. Austin Eckler was with Anthony Lynn in Los Angeles. Tyler Biadasz, Dorrance Armstrong, Dante Fowler were with Dan Quinn and Joe Witt in Dallas. Bobby Wagner obviously had the background with Dan Quinn from Seattle. You even had like Frankie Louvu and Jeremy Chin coming from Carolina. Scott Fitterer is there. Scott Fitterer was in Carolina with those guys. So, I think it's sort of like the idea of like, let's go get some certainty. Let's get some guys where we know what we're getting. And they're guys who are a lot of them are third contract guys. And a lot of them have background with the coaches. Todd Downing was with Morgan Moses in New York last year. Carlton Davis was with Terrell Williams in Detroit last year. Josh McDaniels had Robert Spillane as one of his captains in Vegas. And Harold Landry was with Mike Vrabel in Tennessee. What does that mean? Well, that means, again, you are trying to put yourself in a position where you can get yourself to level ground, where your head's above water a little bit. And, can you get to 7, 8, 9 wins? I think that's the idea of this. Like, this isn't like the foundation for their team for the next 10 years. But it does get them to level ground. And I do think, like you said, like Carlton Davis is a good example, right? So Carlton Davis, like, there was this, he plays when he wants to play type of thing in Tampa, which is part of the reason why they traded him. And, it's just kind of like one of these guys where, maybe like to some degree he can go whichever way the wind blows him, but when he's on, he does have like a feistiness and a tenacity to his game. And I think that's what you see with all the guys they brought in. There's like a feistiness and a tenacity to all of these guys that they acquired. And I think that's Mike, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's what Mike is. So that's what I see is there's background, so you know what you're getting. They're third contract guys, so you're not guessing how they're going to react to having money. And there's a edge and feistiness to each of the players. And then, of course, you have your big swing on Milton Williams, which we'll see what that looks like. That's a swing because you don't know what he's going to look like without Jalen Carter or Jordan Davis, or before this year, Fletcher Cox next to him.
Yeah. I don't know. I just think if there was one team that after free agency, I would say, okay, before free agency, the Patriots are a 4-win team. After free agency, I would say that they're a 6 to 8 win team.
Yeah.
And really, I mean, I don't think that's controversial. I mean, maybe it is. I don't know. But I think that.
I think, look, like, they're not Buffalo.
No.
But
is second.
But can they fight with the Dolphins and Jets in the AFC East? Now I think they're probably like, they can fight with the Dolphins and Jets in the AFC East.
Like, let's say Drake May has a big second year. Is second place out of your realm of possibility at this point?
No.
Yeah. I mean, it was for me before free agency.
Yeah, I don't think they're a playoff team.
No.
Because the AFC is the AFC.
No.
So, I mean, if you're talking about them as a wild card, now you're competing with whoever doesn't win the AFC North, right?
Right.
And then you're competing with whoever doesn't win the AFC West.
Right.
So, like, that's tough. But, I certainly think that I mean, I don't think it's out of line to expect like a 3 or 4 win jump from them this year.